Okay. Let me just check on this. Might have fixed the problem, maybe? Okay, it's looking better, I think. Yeah, okay, I think we're doing better. I think we're doing better. Okay. That is good. That's good. Okay. I think we're good now, everybody. Thank you. Sorry for the difficulties. I've been having some problems with my stream lately. I think I might have fixed them now, hopefully. Let's just hope it keeps working all right. I have chocolate. Well, today, another new Punishing Grey Raven update has come out, and we've got a new main story chapter. This one is called Withering Crown, and it gives us the new frame for Rosetta. I'm trying to see how to pronounce the name of the. I'm seeing that it's pronounced arete, but I could be wrong. Or arete. Anyway, it's one of those. But yeah, and the really cool thing about this frame for Rosetta is that she can switch into a centaur form. That's pretty cool. She is also something brand new, which I will look into in just a moment. Yeah. Scroll to her. She is a brand new class of frame, the Breaker class. So, up until now, a usual team in PGR has been formed of an attacker, a tank, and either a support or an amplifier. Usually an amplifier for a higher investment team. Up until now, tanks have been primarily responsible for, like, aside from what it sounds like, not defense, but damage resistance reduction. So it's been kind of a misnomer up until now. And I feel like the new Breaker class is in an effort to kind of correct that. Breakers have a similar class skill to tanks, but even better. It reduces enemy resistances even more. So basically, Breakers are just tanks, but better. And we can expect future high-level teams to include Breakers and not tanks. And this is Rosetta's new frame. This is Aret. She's got her trading cards. And yes, she turns into a centaur. So, first I'll just spend the serum I have, so that I don't have to worry about that. And then, story time. Here we are, Withering Crown. So there, you can see there's a little bit of a unique gameplay mode here that seems to be like sort of tactical. And there's files? There are phases? 5 phases. Oh wow. There's 5 phases. Okay. And there's 23 stages. Okay. So as you can see, there's some things happening. Hi, Cole! How are you? I hope you're having a good day. Thank you for coming. I'm about to get started with the new PGR story. Hi Ash Frost, how are you too? I hope you're having a good day. Here we've got first encounter. Join the battle when you're ready. Alright. You did have a good day? That's great. I'm glad to hear it. Ooh. Plane noises. Check your ammo and gear. Sound off. Keep the communication line open. The constructs moved through the cabin in a flurry of combat preparations, each footfall tightening the air with tension. Alright, let's begin the mission briefing. Luke, are you receiving me? Yeah, what's the situation? 20 days ago, a massive ice shelf in the Arctic region collapsed. Our preliminary analysis points to the red tide flowing into the ocean, which disrupted thermal currents and set off a chain reaction. The resulting fissures are tens of kilometers deep. Multiple coastal ports have been completely destroyed, displacing tens of thousands of civilians in the area. The world government is currently leading evacuation and relief efforts. But this disaster has also revealed an enemy we never expected. Sophiasburg, the former capital of the Arctic Route Union. Sophiasburg? Correct. As you've dealt with them before, you'll recall the Union was once a coalition of powers similar to Kowloon. Sophiasburg was the most powerful urban center. It went completely dark during a catastrophic punishing virus attack years ago. It seems now it wasn't destroyed. It was entombed beneath the ice this whole time. As the ice recedes, Sophiasburg is re-emerging, along with the corrupted trapped inside. More worryingly, we've detected energy signatures consistent with an ascendant-level threat. Hi, Peach! How are you? I hope you're having a good day. You're here with the hopes to see your daddy. Okay, maybe you will. Maybe you will soon, even. Maybe. After careful consideration, Babylonia will honor our agreements by deploying roughly a regiment to the Arctic region as reinforcements. Given your experience in polar operations, you'll be among them, Luke. Your orders are as follows. Link up with our advance units in the Union forces, neutralize the corrupted threat, and ensure the safety of the Union civilians. We're relying on you, Luke. Understood. Let me take over from here. Rosetta emerges from the rear of the cabin. a hint of weariness in her eyes. So this is the frame codenamed Malkuth. Gone is her elementary rigger frame. Its replacement is a predominantly white model, armored with substantial plating. The equipment mounted on her back completes a distinctly fully armed appearance. Rosetta, is your new frame fully calibrated? I've completed basic diagnostics. The logistics team advised that for safety, I remain by Luke's side. The consciousness connection should help stabilize my mind. I just reviewed the report on your new frame. If Luke hadn't performed that deep dive back at Babylonia, you'd likely still be unconscious from mind instability. Yes, another blackout on my part would compromise the operation. That's why I'd like Luke to accompany me in the upcoming engagements. That shouldn't be a problem. You each represent Babylonia and the Union in this operation. Working together will help ensure cohesion between our forces. It's been a while since you've seen Celica in the game. Yeah! Oh, that reminds me, Cole. In the Babylonia game mode, Asimov is there now. He appears in 3D. He's real. How is the Commandant gonna get traumatized and injured this time? Oh, I don't know. We'll see. But it's probably gonna happen somehow. Commandant, are you alright with this arrangement? I just hope you're not pushing yourself too hard. This isn't a situation where I can stand down. And if I stay by your side, I know my luck will hold. Yeah, it is breaking news. Asimov real! And we will secure victory in this war. Everyone, we're about to enter the combat zone. As planned, we'll exfil immediately after reaching the designated airspace. Hi, Neil. How are you? I hope you're having a good day. Your guess, I get dismembered and sent into another mental loop torture trap. Oh no! Oh no! Not again! As for us, we'll deploy via airdrop and join the engagement below. It's quite a bold maneuver for your new frame. The corrupted in this area have limited anti-air capability. Commandant and I intend to rendezvous with our allies swiftly, before proceeding to the next phase. Your mental health episode week is calming down. Oh, that's good. I'm glad to hear it. 3 minutes to the drop zone. All combat personnel to the bay doors and prepare for deployment. Let's move, Rosetta. Yes. Commandant, land right after me. It will help reduce the impact on you. Depressurization complete. Bay doors opening. 3, 2, 1. Open the bay doors. At the pilot's command, the bay doors slide open, admitting a fierce gust of wind and snow that whips against their armor. In perfect formation, the constructs leap, one by one, from the aircraft. It's our turn, Commandant. Let's go. You're planning on doing your first dual-person drawing attempt and you were going to use me and Cole as inspiration. What? Oh, thank you. Is it possible we may see Asimov in person tonight? It's possible. Maybe. Rosetta acknowledges your words with a nod. Gripping her weapon, she strides to the center of the bay doors. There, she closes her eyes and draws a deep breath, her frame responding with a soft internal glow. It's warming up. It's not warming up here. It's frigid. What would my swimwear be? Hmm. I mean, I know I would obviously be wearing swim trunks. I don't know if I'd be wearing something up top. There was an outfit that came out in Final Fantasy XIV for like the most recent summer event that had like kind of a like one of those swimming shirts, and that looked kind of cool. Maybe something like that, but I don't know. My light mage Sona feels like I'd wear a sun hat. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'd wear one of those summer jackets that they wear a lot in like Japanese games to give the guys something else besides just trunks. It is a final calibration that distributes power to all systems, ensuring she is combat ready the instant she lands. Seconds later, her eyes snap open. The thrusters on her back flare to life with a faint hum as she steps decisively into the void. Yours is basically Yusuke from Persona 5. You have a linen hoodie you like wearing to the beach. Yeah, I think I remember what his swimwear looks like. I think that's kind of what I was talking about with like the jacket. Rosetta, moving out. You're looking up FF14 swimwear for dudes, and you got the... Yeah. There's some... There's some pretty skimpy clothes for dudes in Final Fantasy XIV. Rosetta, moving out. Let's go!
We can't hold on much longer. Where's the backup?
It's a bear! It's a bear!
Hang in there! I've got word of an airdrop coming.
Landing sequence initiated. Prepare for combat. Corrupted are waiting at the landing zone.
Then let's destroy them. Engage!
All right, it's centaur time.
Don't worry about it. Think you can stop this? Clearing a path.
We're at a disadvantage. Multiple systems down.
Rosetta, use your stone attack. Wait, what color do I want my trunks and swim hoodie? Well, I mean, obviously there's got to be red in there. Maybe it would be red trunks and like a white hoodie.
All separated personnel and wounded. Move to C3.
Lee!
That was a channel broadcast. Let's meet up with Lee first.
Ah!
Too slow.
Another defense breached.
Tell everyone not to hold out too long. Preserving our strength is our priority.
Private channels aren't working well, so I'll use the public frequency.
Oh, it's Simon. Simon's always throwing up. Want me to incorporate my mage outfit pattern on my hoodie or trunks? Ooh, yeah. That'd be good.
The command system's a mess. We need to find a way to fall back.
Let's hurry and meet up with Lee, Commandant.
The enemy's crossed the ice and is attacking the C3 area where Lee is. C3 area. Enemy contact.
Form up, everyone. Hold this position.
It's just ahead, Commandant.
Let's go. There's Lee.
And Rosetta. Just in time.
Think you can stop this?
Thanks to the Commandant's timely rescue. I couldn't protect both the camp and the wounded alone.
What super lighthearted and not dreadful event is happening in PGR? A city that went off the map years ago has resurfaced with some new enemies. They're detecting an ascendant level threat. Good work, Hyperreal team, and everyone in the C3 area. The front line is on the verge of collapse. Gather intel quickly and rethink your strategy.
That's Sophia's Burke. A ghostly remnant from the glacier.
Is the city destroyed? Unclear.
Finally got through. This can't go on. Let's retreat while we can.
Then, let's blow up the ice as we retreat. Without solid ground, they can't follow.
But to shatter the ice, we'll need outside help.
I set up some explosives in advance, but someone needs to do the activation first.
I'll do it. I'll use my mobility to start the devices. Then...
I'll use my sniper to trigger a chain reaction.
Only hunky blonde men can truly distract me from this game.
Think you can...
Just get close to the devices and complete the activation.
Okay.
I'll take the lead.
What?
Let me show you the power of this body.
Is that Emberia?
No, it's Dulova,
Don't worry
apparently.
about it. Clearing a path! Clearing a path!
Is this a good idea to blow up the ice? Ah!
The Union sends rookies like you to fight me. Pathetic. Over, step aside. Let me handle her.
Why are you here?
Clearing a path!
Don't even think about pulling anything under my nose.
Detonate.
Let's finish this quickly.
Don't worry, I won't miss.
Yeah. Full power strike.
Activation complete. Detonation in progress.
Pew. Who's the fire robot dragon? The hunky fire robot dragon? someone. The boss is named Fu Shen, but I don't know if it's the same guy. A thunderous crash erupts as the ice shatters under Rosetta's blow. In its wake, a cold flash sweeps outward and a massive crevasse splits the ground, carving a deadly divide between the two sides. Dozens of corrupted, unable to retreat in time, plunge through the cracked ice into the black water below. Their thrashing limbs churn the freezing depths, hurling geysers of spray into the howling blizzard, and escalating the battlefield's chaos. What's the gameplay loop for this game when I'm not doing the visual novel mode? There's some recurring like battle modes. Like there's Warzone, which is where you try to like do as much damage to groups of enemies as you can within a 2-minute time limit. There's Phantom Pain Cage, which is like a kill the boss as quickly as you can challenge. And there's like usually some like events going on that have like combat stuff. There's usually a boss challenge for whatever the new boss is in the new chapter. Stuff like that. Everyone, fall back to the base immediately. Scout units only will remain here to stand guard. Move, now! Yes! Get the wounded to safety while we can! Moving! Commandant, time for us to pull back too. I'm worried about the people we're leaving behind. Is there rewards and stuff to upgrade units? Yeah, there are. Although, at my level, I usually am able to upgrade all my units pretty quickly. Just because I already have so many materials built up. This fissure will slow the enemy down, and Babylonia's constructs will hold the line here. You can trust them to handle it. The solar swimwear set? What's that? Ooh. Well done. Just what I'd expect from the subjects of my Arctic route. The words are still hanging in the air when a familiar voice sounds from behind you. Who's there? It's been a while. Across the river of ice, 4 figures stand silhouetted against the snow of the distant peak. Leading them is the individual who once confronted you in Babylonia, masquerading as Mina. Zack, the Frostheart Emperor. So he's the one who infiltrated Babylonia. What are they doing here? The Arctic Route Union soldiers freeze in their tracks, hands tightening nervously on their weapons. Their brief moment of respite shatters with the sudden appearance of unknown enemies. Be at ease. There is no need for fear. He's kinda cute in a scold me and look at me like a piece of trash kind of way. He's quite pretty. But he does seem like he would degrade you. And yeah, damn, he got the titties out. He also got the abs out. If he wasn't a construct, I'd be wondering if he's cold in the snow. But he's a construct, he's probably fine. People of the Arctic, I am Zack, the 6th Frostheart Emperor, heir to the royal bloodline of Sophiasburg. If you still hold reverence for the crown and recognize Sophiasburg as your capital, then kneel and pledge your loyalty to me once more. He looks like that and his name is just Zach? Yeah. Wait, did he just say... Hey, did he say Frostheart Emperor? The Frostheart Emperor. The moment the words are spoken, a ripple of unrest passes through the ARU ranks. Reactions vary. Hesitation, a sudden tight grip on a weapon, a frozen stance, but all betray the heavy, unspoken significance the title holds for them. Maybe it's short for Zachariah. It could be. So let me translate this. You're asking us to surrender? Imagine going in to fight Omega M and he's just like, my name is Zach. He does look like Omega M, now that you mention it. Precisely so, construct of Babylonia. The corrupted you are currently fighting are all former subjects of the old Sophiasburg, and they attack you now on my command. Should you lay down your arms, this conflict will end immediately, and the Arctic will usher in a new era of peace. And what's the price? There is no price. I am an emperor, not a demon. I don't know. I'm not sure an emperor is much better than a demon. I believe this proposal offers you nothing but advantages. You will not die here today, and you will live to witness the Union dominate the world, with Sophiasburg standing as its capital. So what you're really saying is, you want us to help you conquer the world. Not conquest. Amalgamation. This world needs a true nation. A unified order. He does have a halo, but I don't know that he seems very holy. Also, he's got like a chain on his neck? To pull on? No. No. Bad. Down boy. Rosetta, these battles have shown me your exceptional talent and potential. Pledge your loyalty to me, along with your subordinates, and those still hesitating will understand which path is truly right for them. Commandant, what are your orders? What do you think? Our thoughts should be aligned on this. Rosetta nods, her expression hardening into a mask of battle-ready ruthlessness. In one swift motion, she raises her light sword. Its glowing tip cuts through the blizzard as she levels it at Zack. I cannot speak for others, but I refuse your invitation. I do not recognize any Frostheart Emperor. And furthermore, conquering the world sounds really stupid. Okay. Okay, girl. Say what you really think. Every Zack you've known is a little bit of a freak. Yeah. I've also known some freaky Zacks in my day. You're not bowing to a Zack. I understand. The words instantly provoke anger from the three behind Zack, their hands snapping toward their weapons. Zack, however, merely responds with a thin, unperturbed smile. Not an unexpected answer. He raises his hand slowly, and the blizzard dies. In the sudden silence, a chorus of mechanical whirring stirs. It comes first from the shadows of the ice mountains, then from behind every snow-covered rock. The corrupted emerge, one after another, their metal hulls caked in snow, their crimson eyes cutting through thin, still air. Unifying our wills has always proven challenging. That is precisely why we have forged a new power. Amalgamation. Now, all forces attack! Is that his friends Joe, Brayden, and Greg? Maybe, although we know one of them is named Dulova. So maybe Joe, Brayden, and Dulova. This silence shatters with shrill howl. The silence shatters with shrill howls as the corrupted pour from their hiding places. Their silhouettes, a countless converging mass, engulf the landscape. The true battle has begun. Once a stage ends, it may trigger new events or unlock files. After obtaining files, you can view them in file review. Like his subordinate is Dulova and he's just Zach! Arctic Combat Mission Briefing. View in file review. Eliminate enemies, advance through stages, and clear objectives. This is how we push the war forward to its next phase. Deploy our forces wisely, launch attacks, and lead us to victory. Arctic Combat Mission Briefing. Issued by Babylonia Combat Command, recipients, Arctic Support Forces, Advanced Units. 1. Mission background. 20 days ago, current disruption caused by the red tide led to a large-scale ice shelf fracture in the Arctic region. These fractures damaged coastal ports of the Arctic Route Union, forced mass civilian displacement, and exposed the sealed Old Sophiasburg, containing punishing entities. 2. Enemy assessment. Following the unsealing of the Old Sophiasburg, large numbers of corrupted have emerged from within. On-site scans have detected signals suspected to belong to Ascendants. 3. Combat deployment. Babylonia has dispatched support forces in accordance with protocol. Grey Raven Squad and Dark Ares Squad, designated as core units. Subsequent reinforcements must first rendezvous with Babylonia's advanced forces and the Arctic Union Army to operate under unified command. 4. Core objectives. Eliminate corrupted swarms and ensure the safety of displaced civilians. If Ascendants are encountered, all combat data must be synchronized in real time. Solo pursuit is strictly prohibited. What happens if I click Advance to Babylonia? Glacier rifts swallow the dawn. The shadow of Frostheart lies hidden. Beneath Babylonia's dome, a crisis stirs beneath the silence. Eh? Oh, did it just bring me to the...
Has prime retail spaces available. Interested parties, please contact the Commercial Council's designated hotline.
Oh, it just brought me to the Babylonia game mode. Okay. Let's I'll do that later. Broke up the tension a little. From Zach? What? From Zach? Like a special invitation from Zach? I don't know. I don't think so. Old comrade. Things have changed a bit, but the people are the same. Let's share what we know. Sergei, the fighting outside hasn't let up, has it? That's what the field reporters say. Want me to send a scout to get eyes on it? It can wait. Rosetta's ice river has effectively split the battlefield. Both sides are pinned down on opposite banks. Right now, it's a ranged stalemate with minimal risk of a breakthrough. And after right now? We've only got one regiment here. You really think that's enough? Given the situation, it's all we could pull together. After what happened, our units are spread thin. This regiment is what we could muster on short notice. That's not a good enough reason to pull Lillian from Dark Ares. And Simon, what's your plan for sustained operations without a support-type construct? Captain Palma, maybe ease up on Simon for a moment. You'll make him nauseous again. And you, stop wearing that smile all the damn time. Doesn't anything ever get under your skin? I save the frustration for when it's useful. Besides, it's not like Grey Raven's in better shape. Lee's the only one here, right, Lee? Did you put surveillance cameras outside or something? We've returned with the Commandant, everyone. Oh, now that I think about it, no one would be your type, wouldn't he? But yeah, he is cute. After withdrawing from the front line, you and Rosetta finally reach the base. Inside the command tent, several familiar figures greet you. 2 middle-aged men in heavy thermal wear and a weakened Simon, surrounded by the constructs on his squad. Hi, Dark Ares. Oh, Chief. I'm sorry. I need a moment. I figured as much. Allow me then. Good to see you here, Luke. Know when new frame went. Is this how you always treat your Commandant? Well, Captain Palma can be intense, but she's also the most capable person on the field. Need my permission to gossip? My apologies. I was only stating a fact. If the wording was inappropriate, I'll gladly rephrase it. Forget it. At least it's good to know we're not the only squad with breakthrough capabilities. Grey Raven Commandant, I'll be watching your performance. This is somewhat rushed, but let's begin the tactical briefing here. Following the brief exchanges, Rosetta takes her position in the center of the tent to start the meeting. Her voice cuts through the low murmur of conversation, bringing an immediate silence. All attention shifts to her. Nearby, Simon pushes himself up from where he's been slumped against a chair. I need 3 things: the current battlefield situation, the identity of our enemy, and our planned course of action. I'll cover the first. Dark Ares deployed ahead of the other units and has access to satellite intel recovered by Babylonia. Our intelligence should be fairly comprehensive. Thanks. Please proceed. Let's start with the thing uncovered in the glacier. Cross-referencing satellite imagery with historical records confirms it's debris from the old Sophiasburg. Debris? What exactly happened to the old Sophiasburg? That's what we need to confirm. Antonov, Sergei, what truly happened to the old city? Sophiasburg was destroyed by the punishing virus. I remember that day clearly. A pillar of fire erupted from its direction, and all communications went dead. We assumed the city's energy reactor was compromised by the virus, causing a catastrophic explosion. With the capital gone, the front collapsed. The world government abandoned the defensive line, and we were left to seek refuge elsewhere in the region. The rest you already know. So you never visually confirmed Sophiasburg's destruction. We sent drones afterward, but all they saw was ice and sea. Could the city have sunk instead? Very likely. The fissure from Rosetta's earlier intervention made me realize that the explosion didn't vaporize the city. It caused sections to collapse into the frozen sea, becoming trapped within the glacier over time. What's worse is that across the ARU's territory, there's more than one corrupted herd frozen like this. They thawed alongside Sophiasburg. The corrupted emerging from there have already attacked several ports. I've deployed most of the forest guards to hold those positions. Which brings us to the second point. Our main force here is critically under strength. How long until the forest guards can return? It's hard to say. We lack the means to accurately assess enemy numbers, which is why I dispatched Diana with a support team. So you're telling me another captain-level officer is tied up elsewhere too? No additional forces can be spared from other fronts. Everyone here represents the operation's elite strength. Now the second point. Who are we fighting? At this moment, Rosetta turns her gaze toward the two members from the commune. The younger generation wouldn't know. After Sophiasburg fell, the title Frostheart Emperor faded from memory a long time ago. What's up with Horse Girl? What do you mean, what's up with Horse Girl? You gotta be more specific. So this Zack really is the Frostheart Emperor. Sounds like a villain from a pulp comic. Why is she a horse? Why aren't you a horse? That's just how that's how a lot of the Forest Guard were made. A lot of the Forest Guard were made into centaur constructs. That detail's private, thank you very much. Okay, fine. But yeah, a lot of the Forest Guard are made into centaur type frames. And that's because a lot of the Forest Guard did not become constructs willingly, and their human rights were not respected. So that's why she's a horse. No. The Frostheart Emperor during Sophiasburg's fall was the previous one. The Zack we knew. He was a hawkish commander back then. Many said it was only a matter of time before he joined the warlords. The horses did it against their wills, yes. The horses took them. The horses changed them. Watch out for the horses. You're sooner a fish than a horse. So a merman. You're a merman? We've got a mermaid type construct too. We've got Lamia. The warlords? The full name is Frostheart Warlords, the three strongest commanders of the ARU. Since its founding, they've always been chosen from the most talented. Wait, that goat man, Fyodor? That's him. A butcher. I'll never forget that face. So that leaves this Emberia and the Dragon Man. Are they the other two warlords? The Dragon Man. I'm not sure. But aside from Zack, the most terrifying presence is likely Emberia. That dark, looming figure is the Union's collective nightmare. Okay, have a nice shower. But she can't be Emberia. We eliminated her. Isn't that right, Commandant? Yes, we showed no mercy. And a dedicated investigation team confirmed it afterward. So this Emberia must be someone else. Does she have the same ability? I remember the dossier said she could amalgamate other Arctic mechanoids. Amalgamator Emberia. That name alone is the source of the frame's infamy. The ARU leadership envisioned a war machine to secure their dominance in the chaotic wake of the punishing virus. What resulted was a haywire tragedy. The Arctic mechanoids under her control descended into madness, plunging the Union into a living hell. Most likely, Our sensors detected no corruption in Zach's group. Not ascendants, yet able to control the corrupted. Amalgamation is the only explanation. You mean all of them? I have a feeling it's not just Imperia. The other three probably have it too. Oh, I hope I'm wrong. Simon's theory brings a heavy silence, particularly over the two border commune leaders. Their faces tighten with the weight of a shared, painful history. After all, the subject of amalgamation is an old wound, one the Arctic people have never wished to reopen. The situation is dire, but we cannot yield. Rosetta is the first to break the silence. She strides toward another exit of the camp and takes up the weapon waiting there. We can lose other places, but not New Sophiasburg. Everyone worked too hard to build it. I will not retreat without a fight. That reminds me. The battle line lies right in front of New Sophiasburg. Unlucky. We can call it bad luck, but it's not without advantage. A battle line with our base at our backs should mean solid reinforcement. However, I should add, we have no reinforcements, and no retreat. New Sophiasburg stands right behind us. So doesn't that mean that the advantage that you just brought up is completely null and void? With newfound resolve, Rosetta sweeps her gaze across the tent, meeting the eyes of those assembled. Before another word can be spoken, a series of explosions rips through the distant silence. Huh? Oh no! Fire! There's a fire! An Ursa in a lab coat rushes over. The Frostheart Emperor and the Frostheart Warlord's intelligence brief. And from Sophiasburg to the Arctic Root Union. We got some files! Source: oral accounts from the border commune, Antonov, Sergei, Dark Areas Reconnaissance Records. 1. Core institutional framework. The Monarch-Duke power structure of the Arctic Root Union during the Old Sophiasburg era. 2. Frostheart Emperor system. Status: Supreme Ruler of the Arctic Root Union. Succession is determined by Sophiasburg royal blood, making the Emperor both the spiritual symbol of the Arctic and its central authority. Core functions: oversees military mobilization and resource allocation, holds final decision-making power, and is deeply bound to the governance of Sophiasburg. Current status: Zach claims the title of 6th Frostheart Emperor, and has demanded that the Arctic region be brought back under his rule. 3. Frostheart Warlord System. Status: the highest-ranking military commanders directly under the Frostheart Emperor. A total of 3 individuals, regarded as the strongest generals within the Union, and answerable only to the Emperor. Selection criteria: determined solely by combat capability, regardless of origin or faction. Known members: Fyodor, former warlord, with a negative service record, currently aligned with Zach's faction. Dragon Man, details unknown, and a possible link to Imperia, details unconfirmed. And then, from Sophiasburg to the Arctic Root Union. Type: historical record of the Arctic Root Union, ARU, core settlement. Source: ARU Golden Age administrative remains, Arctic Geological Survey reports, first generation resident oral histories. 1. Core profile. Since the beginning of the Golden Age, Sophiasburg has served as the capital and central hub for the entire region. Administrative decision-making center. ARU's highest deliberative venue, bringing together representatives from city-states and settlements to review cross-regional policies. Technology conversion site. Home to top research teams. Energy and population hub. Coordinated energy distribution across the Arctic region and attracted settlers from all regions. By the late Golden Age, it stood as a city with unmatched regional influence and defensive strength. 2. Historical status and administrative structure. Political system and power distribution. Upon the ARU's founding, an imperial system was established and maintained, centered on the Frostheart Emperor. The House of Representatives, speaking for individual settlements, exercised half of the decision-making authority, forming an administrative framework of centralized coordination with democratic checks and balances. Post-punishing changes. After the outbreak of the punishing virus, Sophiasburg was exposed to escalating corrupted threats and, due to multiple compounding factors, ultimately sank beneath the frozen sea. We got another one here. Prepare for amalgamation. Amalgamation is the answer to this frozen land. Oh, who dis? You're back. Why? Weren't you meant to eliminate those Arctic dwellers and their Second Empire plot? Dust motes drift through the faint light between broken, weathered pillars. Suddenly, a voice slices through the ruins' deathly silence, powerful, caustic. It is both a mockery and a command. Zack offers no reply. With his eyes fixed downward, he walks slowly, deliberately, toward the rubble pile where the royal throne once stood. His silence only fuels the woman's fury, and her voice grows even sharper. I stayed because I believed your little amalgamation project might achieve something. A Sephira she needs, an achievement worth claiming. So tell me, what have you been doing? Waging war. The problem is exactly that war. Why not simply use that amalgamation power of yours to dominate them all? Isn't that how you seize the corrupted from me? They have always been my subject. Hearing the word seized, Zack visibly bristles. His eyes lock onto the woman before him. How does that look? Do you wish to fight me? I would appreciate it if you showed respect for the Union. And it is not for a lack of trying. It seems they have developed countermeasures against amalgamation. So, this amalgamation is just another power that can be countered. Is that what you're saying? The air between them turns to ice. The woman's killing intent thickens, a palpable force that seems ready to crystallize into spikes from the surrounding shadows. Amalgamation, if incomplete, has limitations. That is why I went to Babylonia. You brought back some black box data from there, didn't you? Yes. That woman called Rosetta. Her frame contains data that will complete me. Or rather, her frame and I share the same origin. Sounds like trouble. Then why not eliminate her once you have what you needed? Are you not concerned she shares your power? She possesses malleable potential. She will be an asset in the future war of amalgamation. And she cannot unlock that frame's true capability. Not as I can. Welcome back, Neo. If you are so certain, what now? The warlords will oversee the war. I will use this black box data to perfect my frame. Once the data processing is complete, I will become the ultimate amalgamator. At that point, it won't matter who stands against me. See that you remember our agreement when that day comes. You're gonna lose it if her name is Beth. That reminds me, there's a book series I read before, where the main character always lost it because every time he met a dragon, their name was something really lame. The first one he met was Kevin. And then the second one, well, the second one's name was kind of lame, but for a different reason. The second one he met was an edgy teen dragon. So its name was like Zero Raven Nightwing or something. And then he met a lesbian dragon couple, and their names were just Pat and Leslie. What the hell is this book? It's called The Lightning Struck Heart. It's a good book. It's a gay romance, and it's very silly. And the love interest is a knight, a handsome knight, and the main character is a royal mage. So, you know, pretty up my alley. Though I don't believe amalgamation technology represents that Philo-Tree-Sephira. Once the Arctic people are united and Sophiasburg is restored to glory, the amalgamation technology will be yours. Satisfied by his assurance, the woman says nothing more and withdraws her murderous intent. Zack closes his eyes, letting himself sink into the liminal space between consciousness and data. Yeah, it was made for me. There, in a snowfield shattered by eternal blizzards, frigid winds howl and whirl with ice shards. Nothing exists but a vast, desolate white between heaven and earth. In the distance, Zack spots several scholars, their bodies stained with dark crimson. They huddle together in the knee-deep snow, their tattered research uniforms long saturated with ice and frost. Lead-gray clouds hang oppressively low as the scholars mumble phrases like conscience, condemned, can't go on. Their words at last are torn to shreds by the howling gale, leaving them as silent tombstones in the wasteland. This is exactly what left Zack's frame without its final calibration, locking away the power known as the ultimate amalgamation. Soon. Zack murmurs to himself. You were going to talk about something else, but Zack being on screen annoyed you and you forgot? Sorry. Now, kill the power to this whole section. On it. We've got the extinguishers. Aim at the base of the flames and spray it down. Whew. Crisis averted. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief at the Ursa's words. However, while the Babylonia crew is simply glad to be out of danger, the ARU members, Rosetta included, just look on with the weary, silent expression of those who've seen it all before. That was just a minor slip-up. Dr. Bear, let's restart the experiment. Dr. Mina, can we please take a break? Mina? She's the actual Dr. Mina. What do you mean, actual? There's only one brilliant Dr. Mina in the world. Unbelievable. How could Babylonia not spot an imposter? Is my face that forgettable? Probably because nobody's ever actually seen you before. That's Dr. Bear, apparently. And look, he's wearing a shirt and tie and a lab coat. I think I love him. This is the developer of my Malkuth frame. Not the developer, the builder! Your grandfather was the actual developer. How many times do I have to say it? I'm sorry. This is the first time he showed up? Yep. During Rosetta's introductions, Mina cuts in abruptly. Her tone is prickly, sparking what seems like instant verbal sparring with Rosetta. Everything from her expression to her clipped words radiates displeasure. There have been other, like, bear mechanoids who look similar, but this specific one has only showed up just now. And this is the only one who's been wearing like a little lab coat and a like collared shirt and tie. What are you all staring at? I'm annoyed enough as it is. That insignia. You're the Grey Raven Commandant, aren't you? Let's shake. I'm Mina. Thank you for saving Rosetta and for saving Malkuth. Despite her prickly demeanor, she seems to be a candid woman. So, what exactly happened here just now? Were you running some kind of experiment? A simulation startup test for Malkuth. I don't want to talk about it. Dr. Bear, you explain. Alright. Simply put, Dr. Mina feels responsible for Rosetta's coma, so she's been searching for the cause of the startup failure ever since. Of course, you've got to include a bear character in your gacha game. This isn't your fault, Doctor. It was an incomplete frame, after all. Babylonia uses incomplete frames all the time, but I've never heard of a failure this catastrophic. It still makes my blood boil just thinking about it. Come on, let's continue. We have to complete the ultimate amalgamator before the war ends. Did you just say ultimate amalgamator? Rosetta's frame is an amalgamator model? What? Does Babylonia have a problem with the word amalgamator too? Well, I didn't name it. If you want answers, ask Rosetta's grandfather. That's what's written in his manuscript. Isn't that dangerous? Also, I can't ask Rosetta's grandpa. He's dead. Technology itself isn't evil. Only those who misuse it are. Besides, it's precisely because Dr. Puff documented all that amalgamation tech that we could develop a counter-amalgamation module. It's likely because of this module that my kin and I weren't controlled by the enemy. See, earlier when we were discussing amalgamators, I wondered why the Arctic machines hadn't been subverted. Hi, Wesley! How are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're slating. Ouija board? Can you burn a Luigi board? All the more reason to accelerate Malkuth's completion then. Fight fire with fire. You catch on quick. This current frame is basically running on a workaround. The amalgamation capabilities, the power described in the manuscript, none of it's being fully utilized. With the front lines tightening, if we can activate Malkuth, your jobs will get much easier. There shouldn't be any issues with this, right, Rosetta? Dr. Mina is the most knowledgeable scholar among us. I trust her, just as I trust you, Commandant. Report! The Frostheart Emperor's forces have deployed ice generators. They're sealing the fissure in the ice. The gaps are almost closed. Figures. Couldn't keep them pinned forever. I never intended to. But we bought enough time for everyone to get acquainted. Tell the others at the base. Mobilize all reserves to the front line immediately. On it. There. I wouldn't want strangers at my back either. So what's the play? What's the plan? I intend to take the fight to them. Amalgamation Technology Briefing 1. And Malkuth Frame Intelligence Summary. And About Puff. About Puff. Okay, Malkuth Frame Intelligence Summary. Wait, no. They're in different order. Okay, yes. Amalgamation Technology Briefing 1. Information source, past combat records. Classification, internal reference. Core designation. A control technology developed by the former Arctic Root Union. Due to catastrophic disasters caused in the past, it has become a forbidden power that the Arctic factions avoid discussing. Malkuth Frame Intelligence Summary. Intelligence category: Special Frame Analysis. Information source: Dr. Mina's testimony, Rosetta's battlefield feedback. Classification: Internal reference. Information integrity pending verification. Development background: Technological origin. The core design is derived from manuscripts left by Rosetta's grandfather, Dr. Puff. Dr. Puff. These documents reference amalgamation technology, but the original development purpose remains unclear. Dr. Puff sounds like a gang leader from a children's cartoon. Subsequent progress, led by Dr. Mina with support from Dr. Bear, focusing on construction and completion. Current experiments concentrate on resolving startup failures. 2. Current frame status. Completion level: incomplete. Currently relies on non-standard methods for activation, with core functions still offline. Stability: mind compatibility remains flawed and requires establishing a mind connection with the Commandant to achieve minimal stability. Compatibility technology: capable of mounting anti-amalgamation modules, with compatibility still under active testing. About Puff. Type: Profile Summary. Sources: Rosetta's testimony, fragmented records of the Arctic Route Union, frame design drafts, and Arctic Scholar research. 1. Background: former captain of the Arctic Route Union Armed Operations Squad. Resigned after uncovering the inhumane experiments conducted on civilians under amalgamation technology and recognizing its fundamentally oppressive nature. 2. Creations and actions. After leaving office, he consolidated personal weapons expertise and Arctic combat experience, and combined reverse-engineered amalgamation technology data provided by followers to secretly design the prototype frame, Malkuth. The surviving frame design manuscripts, noted for their forward-thinking concepts and technical depth, earned the creator the honorary title Dr. Puff among Arctic scholars such as Mina. Dr. Puff. Have we seen this Dr. Puff? Well, you wouldn't have. I have. I think he's only appeared in, like, a very early side story chapter that detailed some of Rosetta's backstory. Because he's dead. Dr. Puff is dead. There is no more Dr. Puff. The Puff has puffed its last. Now let's take a look at the rear. No, that one's better. The Puff went poof. Move it. Containers loaded before the last transport leaves now. I don't know why, but the voice I just did reminded me of the thing from the Ghost Stories dub. Just fill the hole filler. Outside the gates of New Sophiasburg, over a dozen small trucks sit crookedly in the snow. Their cargo beds are only half full, but no one dares pause for rest. Beside the vehicles, the logistics captain shouts orders, his voice already raw and hoarse. Captain, this truck isn't filling up. Let me roll out now, and you start loading the next one. You think I haven't tried hurrying them along? All our real fighters are at the front. You know who we've got left here. Ouch. Chaos erupts. One man staggers under a box of compressed rations. Another, breath clouding in the frigid air, drags a heavy medical kit through the snow. Then, a sharp cry cuts through the noise as he stumbles and falls. Hey, you okay there? I'm alright. Tripped over a damn brick. The man needs his sore knee, and as the pain sparks into anger, he lashes out, sending the brick skittering away. Who the hell left this thing right in the middle of the road? The brick clangs against exposed rebar in a nearby foundation, scattering ice shards. The sound makes everyone pause. Their gazes sweep across what they call the city. Apart from the relatively impressive gate before them, the place is little more than a field of uneven, half-dug foundations. Rebar juts from the frozen earth like rusty bones. Building materials are piled in chaotic heaps. Further back, rows of cold-weather tents dot the ice plain, a sight no better than the shacks they once lived in while working on ships. Whose bright idea was this? Build a fancy gate before putting up livable buildings? That's so nice that Man B went to make sure Man A was alright. Yeah! Quit whining. You voted for it too, didn't you? Well... The man's protest dies in his throat. He had cast his vote for that very gate, believing in New Sophiasburg's need for a dignified front. Now the irony was bitter. They have built a city, yet their daily reality is just as harsh. Basic supplies are scarce. A simple hot meal remains a luxury. Hey, you lot! Eyes on the job, no stopping! You know how bad it is up front. Just fill the whole hole filler. Yeah, we're moving. Jackass. Urged on, the men cease their complaints, heft the supplies, and quickly rejoin the line. Can I do the "Hey, I'm walking" in that thug voice? Hey, I'm walking here! You're welcome. Evan, can you help me? This is too heavy. Alright, we each take one side. Evan! He's a little guy! Little guy! To support the front lines, even children have joined the transport effort. Lifting their side of the package, Evan and his friends resume moving toward the trucks. Then, near the gate, they spot several men huddled in conversation at an alley entrance. The reports from the front lines. That really is General Zack. Wouldn't surrendering be the smart move? Evan recognizes them as veteran border commune members who once fought on the front lines. Though now assigned to the civilian guard, they're far more obstinate than Antonov ever was. You lost it? He controls the corrupted. He's an enemy of humanity. If he were truly our enemy, wouldn't he have ordered a sneak attack on our rear already? You know how thin we're spread. If General Zack... No, the Frostheart Emperor really wanted us dead, this place would be rubble. But look, for all the fighting, he's deliberately avoided hitting anything beyond the battlefield. Why? It's obvious. To realize the ideals of the Arctic Root Union, the Frostheart Emperor needs its people. This is the conclusion the men have reached. For those who remember the Sophiasburg era and knew both the Frostheart Emperor and Zack personally, surrender has emerged as a viable alternative to the front lines. They are, after all, Union people, citizens of Sophiasburg. So why fight against Zack? Why battle their own home? Evan must be in the wrong place, he looks too happy and jolly. I don't know, there are some happy, jolly people in this world. In this terrible, terrible world. If they simply surrendered, wouldn't the killing stop? Wouldn't the sacrifices end? You... What do you think you're doing? Civilian guard doesn't mean slacking off. Get back to moving supplies, now! Move the supplies, supply mover! The three men blanch, hastily straighten their uniforms, and scurry from the alley like chastised dogs. Yet their words linger behind, striking Evan's heart like thrown stones. A ripple of anxiety, pang of hesitation, a thread of inexplicable confusion settled within him, then seemed to drift away up the wind across the snow-blanketed grounds of New Sophiasburg. Evan, why'd you let go? The voice shout jolts Evan back to reality. The package has slipped from his hands and it hit the ground. The boy is now straining to lift it, his face pale with effort. Sorry. I'm sorry. With a grunt, he lifts the package again, yet the words linger, eyes sharp, scraping at his resolve from within. We got some more files. Situation assessment brief. New Sophiasburg rear areas. Information source. Logistics personnel testimony. Operation report records. 1. City origin. After the border commune rejoined the Arctic Route Union, Union forest guards endured severe conditions to select a site and jointly lay the foundations for this city. 2. Core situation. Serving as a rear logistics hub for the front lines and a civilian settlement, the ongoing war has pushed the city into a barely sustainable state marked by manpower shortages, low infrastructure development, and unstable morale. Combined with natural and technical hazards, internal stability risks continue to rise. So you can see, before I can do this, I have to defeat the enemies. How do I move them again? Drag? Okay, drag. Okay. Blue! Yes. Battle begins. Dual authority. Assemble! Along the ice-cast trenches, frost encrusts the joints of construct's armor and the collars of soldiers' thermal gear. Their breath hangs in sluggish clouds in the frigid air. Following orders, Babylonia's construct stands shoulder to shoulder with the ARU captain-rank soldiers. Every gaze is fixed on the trench's highest point, awaiting the command. Rosetta stands there, her silver-white Malkuth frame gleaming with a cold radiance, light sword in hand. Her spine is as straight as a battle standard, a figure steadying the army's resolve, bearing the weight of their expectation, doubt, and scrutiny. Seeing her now, you recall a conversation from before you arrived. Commandant, after discussions between Babylonia and the port authorities, it's been decided that I should serve as the chief commander of this joint operation. Why that arrangement? Because this is ultimately the Union's fight. If someone from Babylonia took command, the local forces might feel uneasy. It might sound unreasonable, but when the city was being built, I met many people like that. People who trust only what they've lived through, and view the outside with suspicion. I imagine some in Babylonia might also resent having to provide support, which is why someone from the Union needs to step forward and make our stance clear. But honestly, I don't believe my presence alone carries enough weight as the commander, so I'll still take the public role of commander in the upcoming battle, but I'll incorporate as much of your strategic insight as possible. Because this is a war we absolutely cannot lose. Ah, right. Using a term from those old films I've been watching lately, I suppose we'd be co-bosses. If you ask for my help, I'll be there. Thank you. I knew you would say that, Commandant. Before we land, I'd like your first piece of strategic advice. The Arctic region will soon enter deep winter, which would put us at a disadvantage in a protracted war. What do you think we should do? How are our logistics? Not good. The corrupted have disrupted shipping lanes across the Arctic region, and New Sophiasburg is still a fledgling city with underdeveloped infrastructure. In short, we lack the supplies to sustain a long battle. And our only option is to end it quickly. Yes, I also believe our only recourse is to force a decisive battle as soon as possible. But that raises another problem. The enemy is unlikely to accommodate our plans. What if we take the offensive? You mean, we launch an assault on their position, Commandant? Do you think it could work? Rosetta paused, seemingly caught off guard. She fell silent for a moment, thinking deeply, then spoke again. It's possible. Although we're outnumbered, we have several elite vanguards who could serve as our tactical spearhead. Plus, they're currently on the defensive. A surprise strike with our vanguards leading the charge could catch them off guard. Morale is high. This maneuver might just shift the battle in our favor. Rosetta paused briefly, a question half-formed, before she remembered herself. Her rank, her duty. She took a sharp breath, her voice now firm with newfound resolve. Always leaning on your judgment wouldn't make me a worthy commander. Commandant, I'll announce the offensive strategy to all forces, and personally lead the close quarters assault. Then go ahead. I'll fill in wherever you need me. Then, I will announce the operation plan. As you snap back to reality, Rosetta raises a hand and activates a projection. A satellite map of the battlefield materializes in the air, its details crisp. The outline of the old Sophiasburg and the breach point in the surrounding ice. First, answer me one thing. Are you serious about taking the fight to them? Are we really going on the offensive? I thought we'd be digging trenches and establishing a defensive perimeter. Don't tell me we're charging into the city! Yeah. Wouldn't it be reckless to assault the city with our current members? Come to think of it, isn't there a breach at Sophiasburg's main gate? Correct. We won't need to fight for the gate or scale the walls. This siege is essentially a battle on more complex terrain. Besides, both my team and Babylonia's elite squads have breaching capabilities. Entering through the breach won't be difficult. True. Though I don't know why the city gate is breached. Using it would make things much easier for us. So you want us to spearhead a direct assault into the city? It's doable. But what then? Strike directly at their command center. The corrupted are currently being controlled by Zack the Frostheart Emperor and the 3 Frostheart Warlords. Once we break into the city and eliminate those 4, we win this war. Isn't that a bit too optimistic? Facing Palma's skepticism, Rosetta reiterates the strategic assessment she formed during the flight. As Palma hears the reasons that have forced Rosetta into such aggressive tactics, she can only furrow her brow in silent unease. Luke, do you really think this plan can work? If it doesn't work, we'll formulate another. Right. I believe the key is actually... Yawning. Oh my gosh. I believe the key is actually entering the city itself. Compared to fighting in the open snowfields, the constrained tactical space inside the city would work to our advantage. Once we're inside and have secured a foothold, everything else becomes manageable. Guess this is our only option. Noan, what's your take on this? I likely share your thoughts, Lee. I trust Luke's judgment. Well, it seems we have a consensus. Luke, Assuming we successfully infiltrate the city, what's our plan afterward? First, we secure a foothold. I intend to split our forces into 2 groups. One advancing through the mountain pass, the other along the coast. Is splitting our forces wise? It is. The enemy will definitely respond to our movements, and encountering their commanders is inevitable. Setting aside the Frostheart Emperor, we know very little about the Frostheart warlords. If they consolidate their forces, they'd be in serious trouble. By splitting up, we force them to divide as well. That's likely our best approach. Regarding their capabilities, we actually do know about one of them. You mean Emberia? Yes, though her true identity is unknown, based on her behavioral patterns from our previous encounter. I believe her tactical approach is very similar to Emberia's. So if we face her, can we win? Did I mention Cutie in the glasses is playable? He is playable. Maybe he'll get another new frame someday. I've faced her before. We can definitely win. And the question becomes whether she'll appear near the mountains or along the coast. Yeah, he only has one right now. Along the coast. Right. Commandant and I briefly encountered that Emberia at the front line earlier. Though we only exchanged a few words, she appeared to be at odds with the other warlords, and mentioned she would be calibrating the bionic whales alone. Indeed. Though I never expected they'd have bionic whales. This is the old capital we're talking about. That's the only explanation. Then our objectives are clear. One team will engage the 2 warlords near the mountains, while the other confronts Emberia along the coast. Rosetta, you'll head to the coastal front with Luke, correct? Yes. So for the other front, theoretically, I suppose only the dark areas under your command, Simon, can take the lead. Is it too much to ask Dark Ares to handle 2 of them? Chief, there's a saying. Those who aren't obsessed with winning never truly lose. If you're confident in your chances, then I'll have my own strategy too. You can leave it to me without worry. Wait, isn't there a chance the Frostheart Emperor might join the battle as well? It's unlikely, because he previously risked infiltrating Babylonia to extract the black box data from this frame. You think he's processing that data now? If they horsify him, you'll be upset? I don't think you have to worry about that. Right. The fact that he specifically came for it means it's valuable enough. Now that he has it, he'll naturally be analyzing it. But even Babylonia couldn't decrypt that black box, so I imagine it will take him considerable time as well. That just makes me more uneasy. I know this strategy carries inherent risks, which is exactly why I called this meeting. With her words spoken, Rosetta sweeps her gaze across the gathered group. A vote to decide, right? Yes. Though I'm the commander, I know I haven't accomplished enough to earn everyone's trust. My words alone can't convince you all, and any doubts will magnify on the battlefield. I don't want our operation to fail because of that. And you're worrying for nothing. We all know how much the forest guards have sacrificed for this place. I have no objections. I don't fully understand everything, but you all are the strongest ones here. This is what you've decided, then I'll follow. Coming here means fighting the corrupted. That has always been the deal. As long as you don't treat our lives as expendable, we've already made our peace with everything else. Well, that about covers it. Look, we don't want to be amalgamated again. You give the orders and we'll fight. A consensus has been reached. Despite their diverse perspectives and positions, everyone here shares a personal reason to fight. And because of that, they are willing to stand together. Then give your orders, Commander. Yes, Commandant. I know not everyone acknowledges my past accomplishments, but I believe we're all professional soldiers with proper training. That's why I want to express my aspirations for this operation. Whatever the purpose of the old Union was, or why the old Sophiasburg existed, none of that matters to us now. No matter what anyone says, I've refused to hand over this peace we fought so hard for, this sanctuary we've built, to anyone else. Allies from Babylonia, I ask you to lend us your full strength. And to my Arctic comrades, this is our city, and we will defend it ourselves. For our future. Operation begin!
This mission has one goal. Capture the area and defeat the 3 warlords guarding it.
I'll take care of the bionic whale and sea. Can't let it keep disrupting the battlefield.
We'll leave it to you then.
No. Our guys.
Commandant, let's find another route to advance.
Commandant, my team's located the bionic whale. We're clearing the constructs around it and trying to suppress it.
Wait, where am I supposed to go? Oh, here. These are baddies.
Think you can stop this?
Okay, you're going.
Engaging the enemy. Everyone, stay clear of the corrupted.
Good night, Neil. I'm sorry you have to go when you were having fun with Zack and the horse girl.
Roger that.
Ah!
Think you can stop this?
You need to earn a living in this capitalist hellscape.
Chief,
Yeah.
we've reached the designated point, but there are more enemies than expected.
Dark Ares is intercepted by the corrupted, halting their advance. No in time. Ah!
Okay.
Wait, what happened? Oh, the tibib. Oh, thank you for the sub. Thank you for the 3-month streak. Subscribe for 5 months. Thank you, Neo. Speaking of earning a living, take this. Thank you. Thank you for supporting my life.
We've breached their defenses! Constructs, follow me!
Thanks, Chief. We'll stick to the plan from here.
Ah!
Signal transmit. Hey!
What?
Commandant! The Frostheart warlords are up ahead. Stop! Emberia! Wait. Who are you? Remember this name before you die! I'm Dulova, one of the Frostheart warlords! Think you can stop? Fools! I may be a witch, but I can still...
Target acquired. Deploying formation.
Oh no.
Guard! I know every one of your weaknesses! And you're in for a surprise! Think you can stop this?
Ah! Oh, I got an achievement for defeating the boss within 5 minutes. Don't spend it all on gacha now, you hear me? Hey, I don't spend money on gacha almost ever. And Luke squeals are good squeals, thank you. I'm glad you like my squeals. An event has been triggered. The unit gains a buff. Tatiana team strength +7. Durability +2. Yeah! Okay. Separate battles. Everyone moves with one goal: winning the war. Eliminate. The corrupted under the Frostheart Emperor's command advance like a single glacial machine. Cold marionettes moving in chilling unison. With every synchronized step, they constrict the Alliance forces' operational space. Keep firing! Do not engage the corrupted in close combat. Moving! Construct squads, follow me! Charge their front line! Keep formation! Roger that! As planned, Simon and his forces break through the city gates and split from Rosetta's group, heading to a different area. The outcome is exactly as Simon has anticipated. Or perhaps even worse. I am General Rumyantsev, one of the Frostheart warlords. Are you all Alliance forces just cowards? Come on, show me what you've got! If the enemy won't come to you, why not go to them? Simon's prediction was correct. 2 Frostheart warlords are here. Their combat strength, however, exceeds all expectations. One way to handle it. But aren't you joining in, Fyodor? No. I have other matters to attend to. Upon receiving the reply, the construct Rumyantsev rips his tail against the ground behind him. The force launches him high over the corrupted, and he comes crashing down directly toward Noan's forces. Defensive stance. Shields up! At Simon's command, the construct squads snap into a shield wall. Rumyantsev's fist crashes against it, sending a shudder through the entire formation. Fyodor reminds you of someone? Okay, I have an idea of who it might be. I haven't been playing the new Arknights game, but there's a guy from that who looks kind of similar to this guy. So maybe you're thinking of him. Or it could just be someone completely different. Ha! Stepping up to challenge me, black-haired soldier! Having blocked the attack, Noan instantly uses the shield wall as a springboard, launching himself toward Rumyantsev. The onlookers steel themselves for the impending duel, but... Rising engine, level 2 charge, thunderclap! You guess you were gonna say he kind of looks like Virgil, but with a different haircut? Yeah, I guess. Instead, he darts past Rumyantsev, rushing toward the clustered corrupted in the rear, and unleashes his Rev Blade's energy directly into their midst. The resulting wave detonates, instantly annihilating their rear ranks. Target cleared! Fall back! At the command, the construct squads break formation and pull back. Noan pivots to join the retreat, but just then... Interesting, black-haired soldier! Rumyantsev intercepts him, blocking the path ahead. A heavy fist arcs toward Nolan. Punishment for the slight. Nolan doesn't break stride. Formation T, fire! The distant barrage arrives just in time, drawing Rumyantsev's attention and allowing Noan to break free from the corrupted cluster. Simon's strategy for unknown enemies is clear. Maintain a tactical retreat while striking at vulnerabilities. By the way, did you seriously just shout your move out loud? Feels pretty good, actually. Let everyone know what's coming. Not so different from you calling firing commands. Prepare for the next phase. Roger. Their casual exchange barely lasts before the fight resumes, as Dark Ares re-engages, with Palma and Noan holding Rumyantsev in check. The constructs systematically eliminate the corrupted. Though the narrow streets blunt the enemy's numerical advantage, Simon knows all too well. A prolonged fight can only end in defeat. That's what I figured. Yeah, let a man have some whimsy and be a shonen battle character. If I want to yell something like something hammy, like an attack name or something when I'm fighting people, then I'm allowed to. Just because it's fun. I'm a light mage, so I guess it'd be things along the lines of, like, let's think. I'm just thinking of, like, light elemental incantations from the Tales games, and I feel like that's copying. You want to be the sadistic character with a whip sword and be like, come on, sing for me louder! Oh, I had that one in the chamber. There is a character like that in this game if you haven't seen her. Vera. They'll break through our lines sooner or later. Guys, how much longer? Scrounging for materials in the city is harder than expected. We need more time. Don't worry about precision. Focus on speed. We can refine it later. On it. Knowing that even the finest troops can be worn down by sheer numbers, Simon has looked beyond immediate tactics. He has ordered the construction of entrenched defensive positions. Once they are operational, his team can avoid the peril of a head-on clash with the warlords entirely. I think I could play act sadism a little. I can't back it up with any real thing. Because I don't like hurting people. I don't like hurting people. I don't like getting hurt. That's not my thing. I'm afraid of blood. I don't like pain. And I don't like hurting people. And I'm scared of, like, harming them. Wait, the warlords? A sudden dread grips Simon. His head snaps up, scanning the enemy lines. His fear is confirmed. The tall ram-horn figure has vanished. Then, from directly above, comes a voice that chills his spine. Clever tactics, but your strategy lacks vision, Commandant of Babylonia. Simon jerks his head up to find Fyodor already perched atop a nearby building, aiming a captured firearm straight at him. Well then, time to die. Then a gunshot rings out, accompanied by a concussive blast. We've got a link. Signals locked in. Well done. As expected of the best researcher's assistant. The ghostly blue light of the tactical screen illuminates Mina and Dr. Bear inside the command tent. With Rosetta deployed, only skeleton defense and comms crews remain. Mina's and Dr. Bear's faces are bathed in the cold glow, fingers flying across keyboards as they work urgently to re-establish contact with Babylonia and secure a second wave of reinforcements. Channel stabilized. This is Asimov, Chief Technician at the Babylonia Science Council. Dr. Mina, that's not... Well, Babylonia's top science mind personally handling a field link. I'm Mina, Arctic Heritage Foundation. You can think of me as the de facto chief technician for the Arctic Route Union. Acknowledged. Let's dispense with formalities. My objective is to assist you in fully activating the frame designated Malkuth. To do so, I require a precise explanation of the black box integrated into the frame, and why it is causing such a severe disruption in the mind system. I'll break this into two parts. First, I know the black box relates to the amalgamation tech, but not the specifics of that link or its operational principles. I was the builder, not the creator. Second, the problem may not be the black box. The Arctic suffers from severe technological discontinuity. It's possible I introduced flaws during construction, working from the manuscript alone. This discontinuity. It began after the Emberia incident, correct? The event triggered widespread aversion to structured research across the Union. Exactly. Most Arctic researchers never received a complete education. I started as an engineer and shifted tracks mid-career. We're not exactly prodigies here. Mistakes are entirely possible. However, construction errors were not indicated. Construction errors were not indicated in the diagnostic reports. Then, regarding your first point, is it possible this frame of Rosetta possesses capabilities similar to Emberia? Specifically, the ability to assume control of other Arctic machines? If Malku is the ultimate amalgamator as described in the manuscript, then yes, but it's not demonstrating that function currently. Maybe activating amalgamation is a prerequisite for proper initialization. Plausible. Evidence suggests the black box is connected to amalgamation technology. Babylonia retains certain intercepted data on the subject, originally sourced from ARU transmissions. I will cross-reference our archives. Please transmit all manuscript-derived materials through this channel for analysis. Right, of course. Dr. Bear will send everything over shortly. Wait. Hold on. What did you say Babylonia intercepted from us? Before Mina can fully process the words, or call him out for his shamelessness, Asimov turns away and cuts the connection. Hey, we got more files. 3 of them. We've got Dark Ares Tactical Dossier. Intelligence category, Battlefield Tactical Analysis. Arctic Rescue Operations Special Project. Information source, Simon's Battlefield Command Records. 1. Tactical Core Positioning. Facing battlefield conditions that include high-threat individuals such as the Frostheart warlords alongside large-scale corrupted swarms, Simon proposed the following response, relying on strongholds to steadily construct a defensive system, replacing short-term engagements with sustained attrition. 2. Tactical Core Logic. Enemy advantages. The Frostheart warlords possess powerful breakthrough capabilities, and corrupted forces exist in overwhelming numbers, making direct confrontation unfavorable to our side. Our limitations? Allied forces are a mixed formation of Babylonia constructs and Arctic Route Union soldiers, with insufficient coordination proficiency and no unit capable of independently countering the Frostheart warlords. If you don't aim to win, cannot lose. Special note. That's Asimov. He's disgusted. Intercepted intelligence. The origins of amalgamation technology. Information source, unknown. Note, the material consists of fragmented records. Some details require further verification. According to an intercepted experimental log kept by a scholar in the old Sophiasburg, the origin of amalgamation technology traces back to a mysterious email titled "A Control Scheme Adapted for Arctic Conditions." The message was sent roughly 1 month before the first sporadic punishing infection reports appeared in the Arctic. The sender address appeared as garbled code, making it impossible to trace. The content contained only fragmented algorithm snippets, explanations of mechanical control logic, and a peculiar note. The basic framework for swarm coordination must be completed in combination with the characteristics of Arctic machinery. The email was initially received by 3 scholars specializing in Arctic mechanical systems. After testing the algorithms on small-scale Arctic machines in their laboratories, they successfully produced the first rudimentary form of what would later be known as amalgamation. Frostheart Warlord, Rumyantsev, Intelligence Brief. Intelligence category: Analysis of high-threat enemy individual. Information source: Border Commune, Antonov, Oral Account, Battlefield Records. 1. Core profile: one of the Frostheart Warlords, a militant general who once commanded the majority of the Arctic Root Union's forces. He currently operates an anomalous frame equipped with Kowloon technology. His identity, combat capability, and technological origins remain largely unknown. 2. Known information: preliminary reconnaissance detected Kowloon technology traits, including limb joint architecture and energy response patterns. However, Rumyantsev belongs to the former Arctic Root Union power structure, the Frostheart Warlords, and shows no confirmed affiliation with Kowloon forces, leaving the origin of the frame in question. Oh, and I completed one of the missions. I get my next one at stage 9. Frostheart Warlords. Rosetta takes Dulova. Dark Ares handles the other 2. I need a drink. I've been talking a lot. I need to drink liquids. Okay. Even as an incomplete frame, Rosetta holds her own. She slices through Dolova's bullets with precise strikes, then exploits the frame's high-speed flight capability to close the distance in a blur. Your crusade ends here, Dolova, for every life fighting on the other front. Commit. With a final strike, Rosetta drives her blade into Dulova's frame. Dulova reels, balance shattered, and crashes heavily into the skeletal remains of the building at her back. If only the bionic whales had all returned. So it was you. You called them all back. Regaining her balance, Dulova fills the air with a massive volley of bullets aimed at Rosetta. Spare me the theatrics! You saw the devices yourself! While projectiles erupt from hidden ports in her frame, she herself closes the distance in a burst of inhuman speed. Now, Rosetta, her guard's open! Targeting the joints. The light sword strikes Dulova's massive claw with a piercing shriek of splitting metal. She staggers, but doesn't fall. Instead, spike-like mechanisms shoot from behind her body, digging into the ground to arrest her momentum. To think a lab specimen would turn her teeth on me! They were never specimens. Specimens, all of you! Wondering why my frame resembles Amberia's? After her failure, we ran experiment after experiment until we perfected a stable modification protocol. Forest guards. Correct. Every captive became data, and that data built the foundation for the advancements of us Frostheart Warlords. A pity, really. With more subjects, more patriots, we could have achieved far more. The battle rages on. Rosetta grows more attuned to her frame, her evasive maneuvers and laser counterattacks merging into a seamless, lethal dance. Dulova, in stark contrast, abandons all finesse. She relies purely on overwhelming power, pushing her frame so hard its surface glows with the ominous red of overload. What gives you the right to treat lives as data? How many never left your lab? Before the Union's destiny, they are statistics. Once amalgamators and humanoid hybrids are realized, every sacrifice will be sanctified as glory. Break through, Rosetta! This is the moment. Seizing it, Rosetta ignites all thrusters and drives directly into Dulova's defensive spikes. The clash instantly becomes a primal contest of raw strength. No one asked for this glory. No one wanted to be your sacrifice. As the Arctic people, our only purpose is to serve the Union's ascent. Everything else is sentiment. It's this arrogance that has brought the Arctic to such. These are growing pains, Forest Guard. Victory belongs to the victor. When the Union unifies the world, every failure will be remembered as noble sacrifice. For our fallen, you should be fulfilling your purpose, not hindering it. My purpose is to end your schemes, Dulova. What? In the split second before their power balance breaks, Rosetta accelerates upward. Dulova lunges and meets empty air. Before she can recover, Rosetta hurls one light sword, pinning Dulova's massive claw to the ground, while the other spears straight through Dulova's humanoid torso. Oh, in the end, time defeated me. This wasn't time, this was me, bitch. Through the mind connection with Rosetta, you sense a quiet ebbing from Dulova's form, her life force nearing its end. You're going to tell me I was wrong again? Huff. Rosetta's eyes widen, mirroring your own surprise. But Dulova's core systems are destroyed. She will offer no more answers. The red light within her frame dims, flickers, and fades. And with it, her presence. Her body goes still. There is little joy of her victory after the battle. Only a heavier silence filled with new questions. But hesitation is a luxury you cannot afford now. Rosetta, the battle's not over. Couch. Report status and establish connection. Multiple squads have neutralized their target units. We'll be establishing a forward base here shortly. Comms are live. Though the majority of the Forest Guards have been deployed to support various regions, they left behind a small squad for intelligence relay and emergency response. Seeing the communication channel open, Rosetta takes a deep breath. Dulova, one of the Frostheart warlords, has been defeated. Her coastal sector is secure. This victory belongs to the Alliance forces. It belongs to us. In war, the news of victory always stirs the heart. It is the moment when sacrifice bears fruit. A fleeting warmth that makes even the bitter wind and snow feel like a celebration. And in the next breath, a cheer erupts, rippling through the entire district. Alma, they've taken their objective. Now the rest is on us. The sound of distant cheers washes over the battlefield, where Dark Ares remains locked in combat with Rumyantsev. Elsewhere, Fyodor's failed ambush has backfired, leaving him encircled by ARU troops. Sounds like Dulova's finished, Fyodor. So it would seem. The battle is still a whirlwind of violence, but on the strategic board, the opening gambit is already over, and the outcome is clear. Then I suppose we'll have to be the ones to flip the board. Unfazed by the shifting tides of battle, Rumyantsev presses his assault against Noin once again. Noin, already accustomed to his opponent's unpredictable rhythms, meets the attack squarely. His red blade intercepts the blow with a sharp clash. I must say, ARU soldiers never cease to impress, bringing out anti-tank weaponry to demolish a building. You've certainly broadened my horizons. I just used what I had on hand. I won't let you lay a hand on Babylonia's commandant. Everyone, press the attack! Yes, sir! Fyodor closed in, but his ambush was caught at the last second by Antonov. In a split-second decision, Antonov fired at the structure beneath him, destroying Fyodor's footing and sending him staggering. As a result, the bullets from Fyodor's gun streaked harmlessly off course. Quick thinking, I'll give you that. But I don't think it's enough to stop the Frostheart warlords. Rumyantsev, our target is that Babylonia commandant. Perfect timing. I'm just getting warmed up. In war, disabling the command system is always the fastest path to victory. A truth both the Alliance forces and the warlords know well. Upon receiving the order, Rumyantsev drops into a sprinting stance. His skin begins to glow, its color shifting from green to a vivid, charging crimson. That's enough. All units fall back. What? Just as Rumyantsev prepares to sprint, Simon's voice, magnified by field amplifiers, rings out. In perfect sync, the Alliance soldiers pull their pins and release a volley of combat grenades. The canisters hit the ground and rupture, blanketing the area not with shrapnel, but with a dense, multi-compound smoke. Think smoke will save you? Charge! Rumyantsev halts his energy buildup and storms into the haze. Expecting impact, he meets only vacant space. The roar of collapsing concrete and twisted steel echoes around him. He is barreled straight through a derelict building. Fyodor samples the air, catching smoke on his fingertips. His eyes sharpen, but his mouth curves into a knowing, devious smile. Well played. More files. Oh! After completing the final stage on the previous phase's map, you will automatically advance to the next phase's map. We're in phase 2. And we got another file. Where is it? Here we are. Frostheart Warlords. Ulova Intelligence Brief. Intelligence category, analysis of high-threat enemy individual. Information source, unknown. 1. Core profile. The technical backbone of the Frostheart Warlords and one of the earliest researchers of amalgamation tech. A firm believer in combat application first, she rose through the ranks by driving the militarization of amalgamation tech. 2. Key intelligence. Path to ascension. Following the Emberia incident, Dulova took the lead in developing a series of next-generation amalgamators, ultimately securing her position within the Frostheart Warlords as a technological authority. Battlefield characteristics. The earliest among the Frostheart Warlords to undergo modification using a new amalgamator. To validate system stability, she directly reused a substantial portion of data from the Emberia frame. Okay. We gotta go. We gotta keep moving. We gotta beat more enemies. Okay. and we're in phase 2 now. And I've checked, there are 5 phases. I'm curious, actually. I'm gonna check if anybody else has done this story and like uploaded it to YouTube yet. I want to see how long it's taken other people. Not seeing anything. Well, I don't normally finish these chapters in a single stream anyway, so I'm not expecting it. But it feels like... I don't know. It does feel like we're moving a bit quickly, but maybe that's just... I don't know. I know there's 23 stages in total. And we're only on 8, so I guess maybe we're not moving that quickly. Let's check the battlefield. Mission report. Block all entrances and exits as instructed. Cover weak spots with extra personnel. Don't give the enemy a single opening. On it. Entrusting tactical positioning to you, Commandant, was clearly the right call. We forest guards aren't accustomed to urban combat. I wonder how the others are doing. Given our earlier loss of contact with Dark Ares, your concern is understandable, Commandant. Scout, can you connect now? Affirmative. In fact, they've just sent a connection request as well. Following the instructions, the scout sets the briefcase down in the snow. Its lid opens automatically, a metal antenna extends, and a pale blue hologram glows to life, cutting cleanly through the snowy mist. Data streams flicker and swirl for a moment before resolving into the forms of Simon, Mina, Diana, and Lee, a core command present at every front. Mina, you look furious. You Babylonians are the ones with nerve. When did you start planting spies here? Wait, does the former Union even count as us? I guess it does. I've reviewed the scouts' briefing before joining. The battle is proceeding favorably, and Commandant and I have made an unexpected discovery. Expected? The bionic whale pod. After defeating Dulova, one of the warlords, we recovered devices capable of recalling them. With proper guidance, the whales could become a significant asset in this war. I was under the impression there was no way to bring the pod back. Which is why I've been telling those old-timers at the other ports to fund more tech excavation. Everything's been a mess since the last chief captain died. What a disaster. Won't the enemy use those devices as well? The whales would be viable combat power for them too. How do we ensure recalled whales fight on our side? Bionic whales are basically big, good-hearted fish. We fit them with anti-amalgamation models. I'm confident they'll side with us. Then who handles this? Our rear support team, naturally. We can't pull personnel from your front line. We're stretched thin as it is. Any fewer troops in this war is as good as lost. Since I've got the floor, update on Rosetta's frame. We've made contact with Asimov, Babylonia's chief technician, but we still haven't found a way to fully activate it. So even Asimov couldn't do anything about it? I'll take over the explanation from here. Hey! Asimov's image abruptly cuts in, displacing Mina's projection at the edge of the screen. Malkuth's design is unique. Its creator implemented no activation protocols. It is, effectively, a machine without a power button. Why design a frame that way? We're still investigating. However, I must clarify. Not that we lack leads. Full activation is linked to mind stability, but the required threshold, let's just say it's currently unattainable. Specifically? Close to 10,000%. What? What? At Asimov's absurd, almost comical words, every jaw hangs open in stunned disbelief. I've had my assistant rerun all the calculations. Theoretically, either the formula is wrong, or I am. But there's also the chance that it's actually correct, isn't there? Asimov nods, and the room falls instantly silent. This conclusion is correct. It means everyone here is attempting the impossible. It's better than being told it's outright impossible. This is the best outcome we could hope for. Now we continue preparing. We continue fighting. Proceed at your own pace. I will handle the technical side. If the manuscript's calculations prove accurate, this frame could be the decisive factor in ending this war. Asimov is referring to the report section on Malkuth's output capacity, but the figures are so extreme they strain credulity. If we're done discussing the frame, perhaps we should return our attention to the battlefield. Has anyone noticed the corrupted seem endless? Did anything catch your attention? According to Antonov and his team, this district was once the central industrial zone of Sophiasburg. There are quite a few production lines beneath us. Right, and we've already sent out scouts. Elevators to lower levels appear every few blocks. New corrupted emerge from them at regular intervals. They're consuming and producing simultaneously. Commandant, it seems our enemy has already decided our next tactical move for us. Then we destroy the source. Correct. Until we understand the full extent of the enemy's resources, striking their supply lines is our most effective course of action. No objections. I'll coordinate our field teams to hit these targets. I'm stretched thin here. To maintain our own supply lines, we won't be able to join this operation. I'll oversee the anti-amalgamation modules for the whales and keep working with Asimov on Malkuth's activation. Rosetta, the rest of the forest guards and I will return as soon as our support mission is complete. Be careful until then. With the plans laid out, Rosetta turns. Her gaze finds you. It seems the war is entering its next phase. I took command last time, Commandant. How about you head this one? I believe everyone here would like to hear the order from you directly. This is part of Rosetta's consideration for troop morale. In that case, the move should be... Operation begins now! On it! Not to be self-deprecating, but I don't think hearing, like, a rallying cry from someone like me would be all that inspiring. The operation begins now! Unless I was, like, putting on a voice or something. Okay. Arctic Heritage Foundation Intelligence Brief. Intelligence Category: Analysis of Neutral Technological Organization. Information Source: Arctic Scholar Interview Records, Foundation Public Project Statements, Alliance Forces Logistical Technical Documents. 1. Core Profile: a technological organization formed organically by Arctic scholars, guided by the mission of uncovering lost legacy technologies, repairing gaps in Arctic technological development, and fostering a new technological system. It currently stands as a key force in technological research and knowledge preservation within the Arctic region. 2. Key figure, Mina. The Foundation's de facto leader, combining a scholar's technical insight with a manager's ability to coordinate resources. Technical philosophy. Firmly believes that old heritage is the stepping stone to new development. Values the archaeological recovery of legacy Arctic Fruit Union technologies, such as amalgamator tech and special alloy forging, while emphasizing adaptive modification to meet present needs, and firmly opposing pure technological revivalism. Resource integration. Through years of accumulated connections and deep familiarity with Arctic ruins, Mina is able to mobilize funding, equipment, and disperse technical personnel to drive large-scale heritage excavation and restoration projects. Sophiasburg 2. Surrender or resist. Word from the front. We've broken through. Our forces have taken the gates of Sophiasburg. You serious? Wow, it's Man A and Man B again. The Arctic winds slice through New Sophiasburg's makeshift camp, cutting like rusted blades between its wooden shacks. A skeleton crew huddles around rusty oil drums after unloading supplies, their thick coats pulled tight as they trade eager whispers about the telegrams from the front. It's true enough, but it's no real advantage. A driver in a thick scarf suddenly flips back the tarp over the truck cabin, pushes his way in, bringing the biting chill of the front lines with him. What did you see out there? The corrupted. Swarms of them. Heard some soldiers talking while we unloaded. Sophiasburg's hiding production lines, churning out more of those things. Unless they're destroyed, the front will be overrun. That can't be right. I used to run production lines. Where would they get all the resources? Sophiasburg was the capital. Their stockpiles were always bigger than anyone's. And ever since the higher-ups set their sights on conquering the world, those stockpiles only grew. He has only just spoken when he becomes aware of their collective gaze fixed on him. With a hurried wave of his hands and a sharp shake of his head, his voice grows noticeably strained. Don't look at me like that! My father captained a transport ship for Sophiasburg. I only know because I sailed with him a few times. So you're saying that the longer that lines run, the worse the odds get. Is surrender truly not an option for us? What are you saying? I'm asking if there's a way to keep people alive. Weren't we told that surrender would end the war? That everyone would be safe? Safe? Remember the Union back then? The Frostheart Emperor doesn't want peace. He wants the world. Surrender, and we'll just become soldiers for his war. He can control the corrupted, and the punishing virus keeps creating abominations. Why aren't we uniting against that instead of fighting each other? It's the same with this war. If only there was someone whose call everyone would answer. Someone who could rally everyone to help us. Then we wouldn't be sitting here terrified, and our soldiers at the front wouldn't be throwing their lives away. What are you all talking about? A voice, clear and bright, interrupts the low hum of conversation. Evan stands at the edge of the group, his small hands fisted in the hem of his coat. Though the cold has painted his cheeks a raw red, the look in his eyes is pure, unwavering determination. If we become invaders again, we're no better than before. You want to see more Amberias show up? Evan, what are you doing out here, boy? Listening to you all whispering. Rosetta and the others are fighting right now, and you're here talking about giving up. Do you still not believe in the forest guards at all? Belief doesn't fill storerooms or bring back the dead. You're a child. You don't understand the cost. We've poured everything into this. I know we've sent supplies, but if the Alliance wins... Win? And then what? Go back to scraping by? The civilian guard's voice rises sharply as his rough hand slams onto a rusty oil drum. A deep metallic clang reverberates, echoing across the desolate snowfields. Riddle. We finally saw Sophiasburg rebuilt. Then the Ascendants wiped New Murmansk off the map in a day. All the supplies that should have been sent here gone. Remember those days? Sailing from port to port, begging for scraps, fishing wreckage out of the sea just to survive? How could I forget? Treated like beggars. In the end, there's nothing out here but snow. The driver stares out to sea, his gaze growing distant and heavy. He is remembering the countless days and nights spent hauling resources from the deep, the relentless labor that built New Sophiasburg from the waves. Win or lose, we burn through everything we've saved. And then what happens to New Sophiasburg? Then we start all over again. Again? How many times must we start over? They built Emberia to conquer the world. They said to defend the Arctic from the punishing virus, only to break the place apart. So many lost their homes. We waited for the forest guards to defeat Emberia and end the nightmare. And then the Frostheart Emperor returned. Every time we hope, things only get worse. His gaze fixes on Evan, a chilling weariness frosting his eyes. You know why we came to build New Sophiasburg, Evan? Because... Evan opens his mouth, then freezes. Feels like he should have an answer, but the words die on his lips. The truth hits him with sudden clarity. He's only here because everyone he knows is here. His only purpose has been to carry bricks and build walls beside them. Seeing Evan struggle, the man offers a wry smile. He reaches out and gently brushes the snow from the boy's shoulder. We came because of the Sophiasburg that still lives in our hearts, even after everything. He falls silent, his gaze fixed on the still open gates of New Sophiasburg. Through the gap, he looks toward the old Sophiasburg in the distance, its silhouette long lost in the gray mists of the wasteland. Evan understands then that they did not build New Sophiasburg out of a grand vision. This painstaking reconstruction, this devotion to an old style, was never about creating something new. It was about preserving warmth. It was a way to reach back, to salvage a familiar comfort and hold it close. A small fire against the relentless cold of their present tragedy. Evan's lips part, but no words follow. The wind drives ice dust through the air, carrying with it the muffled, relentless rumble of guns. Cold bleeds into them, past collars, past flesh, deep into the marrow. In its wake, the renewed conflict erases what little warmth remained, leaving only hollow silence. Another file! Spiritual symbol, Sophiasburg. Intelligence category, identity analysis. Source, civilian interview records. Observations from New Sophiasburg reconstruction. Frontline soldier accounts. Core positioning, Sophiasburg, the spiritual totem of Arctic patriotism. For the Arctic population, Sophiasburg has long moved beyond the idea of a physical city. It has become a concrete symbol of the Arctic Union's spirit, as well as the central anchor of identity and patriotic sentiment for the Arctic community. This sense of belonging is not sustained by slogans, but by memories passed down through generations and practiced in everyday life. Alright, we keep going. We keep on moving. Causes of war. I've seen it in its complete form. Except for the main gates, the city remains in our grasp. Yet we cannot afford to underestimate Babylonia. Ah, this stalemate. It reminds me of my tactical studies in Kowloon. My report concludes, Your Majesty. Oh my god, he's not wearing shoes? Also, he's got his foot stuck out, like, all, like... What's the word I'm looking for? Like, he's all, like, ooh, I'm important. Dulova. A genuine pity. She was a remarkable talent. Cold seeps through the cracks of broken columns in the pitch-black ruin of the palace. At its center sits Zack, a melancholy figure almost merging with the hall's darkness. Before him, a hologram flickers. Rumyantsev's mechanical tail sweeps idly across the ground, while Fyodor stands with his gaze lowered, still and unreadable as a stone. War is the domain of uncertainty. Anyone who rose to the rank of warlord knew the risks. As for her vacancy, she was, after all, a transitional appointment during the development of humanoid hybrid. One could say she has discharged her duty to Sophiasburg in full. The words are spoken with casual indifference, mirroring Fyodor's silence. In both their eyes, a comrade's defeat is just a vacant post, something to be filled, not mourned. There is no grief here. How admirable to be so cheerful in defeat. Forget the dead woman. Those whales are supposed to be super weapons, aren't they? Are you really just going to hand them over? We may lose a pod of bionic whales, but our strength is not diminished. Besides, they are useless in the enemy's hands. Anyone can boast, but those rising humans, now they are fascinating. Especially that Grey Raven Commandant. Luke. You know that one? We share an acquaintance. Having seen that Commandant today, I am intrigued. Frostheart Emperor, instruct our men to take care. Do not kill that one. Rumyantsev, Fyodor, press the military advance. By your next report, I expect tangible results. Understood. I will see to it. By your command, I shall personally greet the enemy's commander. Projection flickers out. In its absence, a solitary beam of light breaches the dome, barely grazing the floor before the dense darkness consumes it whole. The battlefield is yours to manage, but my patience wears thin. Is the black box data still not ready? It requires more time. The ultimate amalgamator is delicate. Surely you can spare that much. Time is precisely what I lack. It can forge a lion cub into a king, and just as easily grind a king to dust. Even the mightiest cannot defy its passage. I never thought to hear an ascendant speak with such reverence for life. If I held no reverence for it, I would never have ascended. And you? You strike me as no mere glutton for power. What drives you to conquer the world? Silence reclaims the palace. The only sound is the wind threading through broken window frames, stirring ghosts of dust from the floor. Slowly, Zack lifts his gaze to the darkened dome, as if seeing through the decay to the starlit sky that once shone here years ago. I was once an astronaut, soaring beyond the atmosphere to touch the cosmos. I believed that was my destiny. I completed my training, rode the rocket through the clouds. When the weightlessness came, cold and metallic, I pressed against the viewport. I did not see stars. what I saw. Earth. Whole. Unified. Zach's fingertips tremble slightly. A phantom sensation of that viewport's cold still lingering from years before. That awe crushed me against the glass. My tears struck the surface. My companions marveled at the planet's beauty. But all I could think was, this is the truth. A single unbroken whole. So I returned, quit my job, used the little lineage I had to secure a military. Later, I volunteered for the leadership's modification trials. Endured the fire in my veins, the agony of rewritten nerves, until I became what I am now, the ultimate amalgamator. As Zach closes his eyes, the darkness fills with familiar shapes. Comrades who once shared his dreams of an amalgamated world. These were the true believers, the ones who gave everything for the cause. He sees them now as ghosts, a silent testament to the vision they all fought for. So, a childhood epiphany? Tell me you've outgrown such fantasies. Children dream of plucking stars from the sky. I saw all coastlines connect. Saw the scars our conflict have carved into the earth. It was too perfect, too complete. It made every border we've drawn seem a cruel joke. Since Earth was born whole, I will erase, with my own hands, the divisions mankind has imposed upon it. Support obtained! Pulau team inbound for support! Pulau fears nothing! Everyone, hold the line! Don't let the corrupted win! Pulau! Yay! Okay. Go get him, Pulau. Obtain supplies. Weapons supplies obtained from camp. Tatiana team strength +5. Yeah! Next stage, before the next battle. Let's get fully prepared with Rosetta. Are there any spare energy canisters left? Get them swapped out for anyone low on charge. I'll take the watch. A basic defensive line is now in place. Some soldiers lean against barriers or supply crates, cleaning weapons and catching their breath, while others move in a constant, practiced flow that defines life at the front. All units, do not overextend. If anything goes wrong, fall back to the base immediately. Reconnaissance, not annihilation. We remember. Leave it to us, Rosetta. As the ARU captain signs off, Rosetta lets out a long, slow breath, the kind you release after the tension of a fight has finally passed. Things not looking good? The situation is under control. Having so many dependable allies helps. I was just venting a little battlefield pressure. My mind hasn't been entirely stable lately, and I need to regulate myself. For my sake, and to keep things easier for you, Commandant. By the way, while the recon team scouts the corrupted production lines, let's go over our unit's objectives. Go on. As agreed earlier, the Alliance Force's tactical priority shifts to destroying the corrupted production lines inside Sophiasburg. If we cut off their reinforcements, we can break out of this situation where we're constantly outnumbered. I wonder how many there will be. Every factory we take out matters. They are designed to be small scale, so each one's individual production capacity is limited. So if we keep winning the local engagements and keep disrupting their production, overturning the numbers game is only a matter of time. When that happens, we press the advantage with a full assault. And when it comes to striking hard, I have complete faith in everyone here. Reporting. Teams for the sabotage op are ready. Understood. Commandant, once reconnaissance confirms the targets, we strike the production lines in coordination. Let's use this time to prepare. I want this operation to run smoothly. Alright, here we go.
Commandant, about the preparations. Is that someone singing? Sounds like it's coming from over there, Commandant. Let's check it out.
Let's go.
Damn it! I've been shot in the stomach. It hurts like hell.
Why are we fighting our own people?
Like a tiny kid of the huge
Everyone's been through enough. All we can do now is end this war quickly.
then be enthroned to the distant rusty memories from the bygone time.
The sound's coming from just ahead, Commandant.
Glories it repeats.
I can't believe it's just a CD.
You know them?
I recognize it. There's so much old stuff here in the Arctic. People hate throwing things away. The CD. Sophiasburg. How many more surprises does this cold land have in store for us?
Reminiscing about the past isn't a bad thing.
Yeah, not everything from the past was bad. It's because of all of this that I met you, Commandant. Watch out, Commandant!
The corrupted are everywhere! Defend! Defend!
I thought I'd run into that black-haired brat again. Never expected to run into the Generalissimo in the flesh.
If we take out one more of the 3 warlords, we can seize the district and clear the path to the palace.
Let's
I didn't
go.
let a single soul enter the palace before. And I'll be damned if I let anyone through now. Let me see just how much you Arctic folk have really grown.
Too slow! Too slow! Clearing a path! Think you can stop this?
Ugh. This music's cool though.
Think you can stop this?
Oh, I didn't know I could do that from midair. Ah.
Don't worry about it. Clearing a path!
An unknown ascendant is launching an attack on our position. More files. Uh-oh. Sophiasburg Civil Unrest Incident Record. Intelligence category, Arctic Historical Conflict Records. Source, Fragmented Administrative Archives at the Old Sophiasburg. 1. Causes of civil unrest. After the full-scale outbreak of the punishing virus, core survival resources in the old Sophiasburg were monopolized by the nobles and the upper class, prioritizing the survival of privileged groups. Civilians in the outer city lacked basic protection. Leading to sharp rises in infection rates and deaths from freezing and starvation. Repeated civilian petitions calling for resource sharing and opening any inner city shelters were rejected by the ruling class. With their right to survive pushed to the brink, riots finally erupted across the city. 2. Impact of the unrest. Civilians stormed supply warehouses and defensive posts controlled by noble guards, resulting in the fall of 3 key districts in the outer city. Noble residential zones faced direct security threats, while the city's overall defensive capacity was weakened by internal strife. The corrupted exploited the chaos and advanced toward the outer city perimeter. 3. Pacification measures. The upper echelon of the old Sophiasburg urgently activated General Zack, authorizing him to deploy outer city garrison forces and small-scale mechanical combat units to intervene. Is it cut off there? Well, anyway. The Ram versus the Mantis. A little body bending's no big deal for a construct, right? Looks like Rumyantsev's already lit the fuse on this powder keg. Time to make my entrance. Bionic whale, surface. What the hell was that? It's the bionic whale. It just breached through the ice. Open all hatches. Deploy every unit we have. Target the enemy base. The Arctic wind carries shards of ice that shriek against the metal tents of the base. This frozen expanse, designated the rear line, should have been the Alliance's safest refuge, until the black shadow erupts from deep beneath the ice. You thought the Abomination Death Virus was bad enough? Oh, it can never be bad enough. Soldiers barely make it out of their tents before countless hatches split open across the bionic whale's belly. Corrupted troops, bodies caked in grimy snow, pour out like a tide. The shriek of alloy scraping against ice fills against the air as they advance. Plus, in this chapter, we're not even really fighting the virus. Although we are fighting corrupted. They're just under the control of others. Keep firing! Get the front line on comms, now! People scream warnings and raise their weapons, but panic has already spread like a plague. For these reserve troops, the sheer number of corrupted is more than they were ever meant to face. Just as planned. However fierce their front may be, their rear's as fragile as a snowflake. Level this place, link up with Rumyantsev, and this war is done. This is Fyodor's strategy. Destroy the rear, then coordinate with the other warlord to close the trap from the opposite side. Simple plan, yet brutally effective. How come we deal with a human-killing virus corrupted machines? Why can't we just have a paradise of hot people that pamper us and feed us fruit? That would be nice. At least when combat's not happening, we do have a bunch of hot robot people. Although I wish that there were more men in the group. A lot of them are hot robot ladies. And that's cool, but not what I'm there for, you know? Damn it! Watch your backs! Don't let them flank you! The corrupted soon swarm the headquarters, their advance underscored by distant screams and the groan of twisting metal. Perched atop the bionic whale's spine, Fyodor watches the chaos below, his fingers drumming lightly against the blade at his hip. The operation is proceeding smoothly, yet a persistent unease grips him. His attack was sharp and sudden, but the enemy's response feels thin. Too thin. A hasty resistance shouldn't be the only answer. How many of them have irreversible trauma that even a therapist would run in fear of? Well, I think that kind of comes with the territory of being in a post-apocalyptic world. So probably all of them. Above all, one detail gnaws at him. He hasn't seen a single person flee from the base tent. Not one. Wait. Could it be? Bingo! Detonate! A woman's cold voice rings out from within the tent. The next instant, flames erupt throughout the base as explosions thunder in rapid succession. A sharp, cracking detonation, followed by a domino effect of shattering booms. Flames wrapped in smoke and dust devour one building after another, each blast hammering a trembling crater into the snow. Did we have a fake base? The corrupted have no time to react before the blast swallows them. As the explosions collapse the ground beneath them, they sink back into the frozen sea, returning to the dark depths from which they came. Always waiting before we're pushed into a corner. What's that commandant thinking? Alma's voice burns with rage as her mantis blades carve twin arcs of cold light through the sun-drenched air. In the same frozen instant, Fyodor spots the green-clad figure. So the ambush walked into a trap. Oh, refreshing. You haven't seen anything yet. Palma doesn't wait for her words to finish. She launches herself from an ice ridge, her blade aimed straight at Fyodor's face. I am Fyodor, one of the Frostheart warlords, the strategist. You think those meager skills can touch me? He is ready, his own short blade flashing up to meet hers. The clash of steel rings out, sharp and clear across the frozen waste. I don't introduce myself to dead men. The battle rages on. Fyodor glances below to see soldiers who had been hiding in the tents, rushing out to engage the remaining corrupted. But he realizes the truth too late. This isn't the real base. Someone anticipated him. The real base, and its personnel, has already been relocated. You can't just hide a damn whale. Any idiot could guess where it went. Yet you're here intercepting me. That means my strategy struck a nerve. You fear me, and that's why you stayed. To Palma's surprise, Fyodor's skill and speed match her own. She had assumed he was merely a strategist, a mind hiding behind the other warlords. In reality, he is an agile close combat specialist, just like her. You ram-horned prick! You know what? I like Palma. She's very direct. Their battle is a deadly dance atop the bionic whale's spine. Palma drives the assault, her mantis blade striking with surgical, vicious intent. Against her, Fyodor's defense is an art of millimeters. His short blade flashes, not to meet her force, but to deflect it, spilling her lethal energy harmlessly into the void. Full barrage! Just as Palma gathers herself for another blow, a deep, resonant hum vibrates up through the whale. Below her, the heavy hatch doors begin to part, their seams traced with an eerie blue energy, An opening. Palma tries to fall back, but Fyodor spins with shocking speed, driving his short blade straight for her head. She barely crosses her mantis blades in time, but the force still slams her back a few steps. From below, the bionic whale releases a deep metallic rumble. Missiles scream from its launch bays, their searing heat scorching the edges of both combatants' clothes. Struggling. It's not easy fighting on unstable ground like this. Unless you're me, of course. Fyodor's strikes finally connect, driving Palma backward across the shuddering back of the whale. This is his domain now, a terrain of constant vibration. Using his frame's advantage and combat experience, he systematically presses Palma toward the open missile bays. There's no escape! Damn it! Just as Palma tries to escape from the edge of the launch bay, Fyodor lunges at her. Their blades clash, his short sword locked against her mantis blades, and the mechanical joints in their arms glow a strained, furious red from the force. Fine. Have it your way. Trapped, Palma wrenches her right hand free and prepares to shove Fyodor back with all her strength. Another opening. With terrible timing, the missiles suddenly roar from the launch bay at their backs. The violent shockwave catches Palma off guard. Her ankle twists and her footing gives way. In an instant, she is falling, pitching headlong toward the open maw of the launch bay. It's over, Babylonian construct! A cold glint flashes in Fyodor's eyes as he retracts his blade, then thrusts it toward her chest. A strike meant to end the battle. But just before the point pierces Palma's body, the sound of twisting joints suddenly echoes through the air. Fyodor's attack cuts only air. His target has already moved. In the periphery of his vision, he glimpses Palma, her body bent into an inhuman curve to evade the blow. Her right arm twists impossibly back, and the mantis blade extends to a length he has never seen. Its destination is his chest. In the fraction of a second, the tip pierces his armor and drives deep. A little body bending's no big deal for a construct, right? Vital fluid gushes forth, instantly crystallizing into a spray of ice in the wind. His blade slips from a lifeless hand as his body goes limp, collapsing backward into the snow. Our mods are more extreme than us hybrid types. Palma doesn't let Fyodor finish. She tears her mantis blade from his chest. His figure plummets from the bionic whale's spine, crashes into the freezing ocean, and vanishes. The ripples swallowed almost instantly. A low, pained moan resonates from the bionic whale beneath them, a sound that feels both like relief and a final command. One by one, its launch programs power down, and the corrupted begin to slow, their movements turning sluggish and uncoordinated. Clean up the rest. Don't let them near their real base. That sound. Just as Palma thinks the problem is solved, ready to share the good news with their allies, a violent tremor ripples through the ice plains. Then a chorus of howls erupts. Not the earlier shrieks of ordinary corrupted, but something deeper, more guttural, as if echoing from the very depths of hell. Hetero creatures. Her head jerks up. In the distance, the ice plains fracture as dozens of cracks split the horizon. From each fissure, hetero creatures pull themselves free, dragging long crimson trails across the pale expanse of ice. Hetero creatures? Why are they here? I thought we were only fighting the corrupted! Hey, snap out of it! Ugh! Chaos, held at bay for a moment, breaks loose once more. Screams, sharper, more desperate now, pierce the air, and the blood begins to stain the virgin ice in vivid, spreading red. From her vantage, Palma's fists tighten. Her heart plummets with every second. The warlord is gone, the wail has stopped, but the battle below is only now descending into true hell. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, I think I might end here for tonight. I do have some stuff tomorrow, so I don't want to stay up too late. But the day after, on Thursday, I don't really have anything, so it doesn't matter as much if I stay up later tomorrow. So I think I'm gonna end here, and then tomorrow I'll try to finish the rest of the chapter. Thank you everybody for spending time with me. I had a good time. Also, hopefully next time I won't have, like, the first 15 to 20 minutes, like, delayed by, technical issues. Hopefully I've sorted that out. But yeah, thank you everybody. I've had a fun time. This chapter's fun. I like it. I like the difficult tactical battle stuff. It's interesting to me. Let's see if there's anybody we can rate. Come to think of it, have I ever rated this person before? Okay. I think I think we're gonna be brave. And we're gonna raid a new person who I don't know very well. But we're gonna do that. So everybody come with me. I'm being brave. I'm trying to overcome my social anxiety. So I don't know this VTuber very well yet. But I know a lot of the other streamers that I watch also watch him. And seem to be friends with him. People say he's very nice. I don't know him very well yet, but I believe them. So yeah, let's go say hi. His name is Leo Valorane. He's playing something. It says cutesy game night for his stream, so I don't know. So yeah, let's go say hi. Let's send him some love, okay? Alright. Thanks everybody for coming along. I'm gonna stream again tomorrow as long as everything goes to plan. I'm also planning on streaming Friday night for the new Woo-Wah update. So I'll be back then too. Alright. Thank you everybody. I hope everybody has a really good rest of their week. Bye-bye. Thanks for coming. No, thank you, Peach. Thank you. Bye-bye! No, oh, thank you. I'm doing my best for, good vibes, you know? Alright. I'll see you later. Bye-bye!